every time. All right, for those of you who would like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please stand now. Allegiance. One nation. Indivisible. Great. All righty. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special meeting of the Silverton Board of Trustees. It is astonishingly, it is 5:31, getting ahead of myself. And I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Rosh is absent. Trustee Halverson. Here. Stu Wakefield.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Schicker.
Here.
Mayor Harper.
Here. Beautiful. We have one agenda on this for this evening. I don't see or think there'll be any revisions. Fantastic. All right. There will be two portions of tonight's meeting. That will be for public comment. There will be one right now. And at the end, y'all feel free to jump in whenever you'd like. Rules apply to both sessions, 3 minutes apiece. If anyone would like to make a public comment. Fantastic. Anyone online? Perfect. We are going to close public comment and go straight to our first presenter. Our first candidate for trustee is John Paul. Come up, sir. And you have 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Thanks everyone for hearing us and allowing us the time to speak tonight, and look forward to a good outcome. As I've stated in my letter, I've been in Silverton full time for a little over 10 years. I've been coming here for as long as I can remember. In my time of being here, I am a builder and remodeler in town. I've only worked in Smith County, in Silverton. I've never worked anywhere else outside the county. I take my experience as a builder, developer, and put that into account for my position and how I think it would benefit the board. And as a trustee, I've been a firefighter for 3 years now, and it's a volunteer position, something that I've been very dedicated to. I do a lot of volunteer work through that organization, plus outside organizations that we like to support. And I also do a lot of training. Like I said, it's a volunteer position, but we get to do a lot of training that I get to go to that helps make me a better firefighter, also teaches discipline, controlling situations, and embracing that situation and knowing how to approach it. The goals that are important to me if I were to be selected as the trustee, and I'm super excited to be a part of, would be things like the transfer station, the grant that we got for that, that 2 million. I would be honored to be able to work with that alongside you guys. Workforce housing, I feel like, is a great entity that you guys have been focused on, and it just would be great to be a part of that too, along with Blair Street project. That's something super exciting. As a resident of the town, we look forward to these things that are making our town better, and it would just be great to be more involved in that situation. Reading through, the Silverton Board of Trustees priorities that you guys have. I'm right along with all of the objectives that you guys have. I look forward to delving in deeper on those situations with you guys if I would be selected. I'm really interested in learning more about the budget, about how money is spent within the town. Again, very excited about the grants. One thing I would like to touch on is my ability to be not just a seat, but to be a hands-on involved in things like public works. With my background in construction my entire life since I could wield a stick. Construction's been my life. So being a part of this, I think I can bring a lot to the table with that experience when it comes to stuff that the town has to vote on, and having hands-on and being a part, getting to know you guys more, especially Lindsay. I'm not know that well, but would love to get to know you guys better. Most everyone else in here I work with on a weekly basis usually, and just excited, I guess, to have this opportunity, and I have like 1,000 things I want to say. Yeah, just look forward to it. I think I can bring a lot to the table where we can work side by side to go through the ups and the downs, the budgets and the money that is given to us, and how we can best spend that money for the benefit of town. I mean, I want to always walk into this building with telling myself that I'm going to make decisions with this board that are for the betterment of town and the residents of Silverton. And I always want to leave this building after these meetings saying to myself that I did just that. I did everything with you guys as a team that I can be proud of and talk about to the residents of the town, Silverton. And then even outside the town. What's that?
That's a perfect stopping point. You got 5 minutes, sir. Well, if you wait right there, we're gonna have a Q&A with you.
Oh, nice.
And there's no particular order, and it's just rapid fire. And if anyone would like to start. Doc?
Sort of long-winded, but what would be your sort of perspective on how we might be able to balance land usage with what I consider a rather urgent need to develop a long-term commercial, not just viability plan, but plan for success to help grow our population base in the generations to come. There's gonna be some sort of balance that has to take place between what we have land-wise and what might need to take place down the road.
So if I'm understanding, you're asking what would be the balance between commercial property and residential?
So just sort of in general, if we need to grow, it's not just about growing in existing structures and existing, the I guess the map that we have in town. There might be some need away from the town, work with the county.
So,
It's not really a specific question on town versus county. It's more about a personal opinion.
right, so, personal opinion, of course, without being more in depth with the town board, I'm limited to what I know, but, I'm pro-business. First off, I think that town, we do a lot of exporting. And so any kind of business that could come here, that would help with, that. Or I mean, we do a lot of importing to export is what I meant to say. And if there are businesses that we can support and get behind to help grow, then I'm for that. Working with the county is obviously a must because we only have so much land here. And so I think working with the county is always a great thing. I think you guys already do a great job with county and town as two entities and I'm trying to make them one in a way. So yeah, I'm very pro-business and I think that some of the things that you could offer or that we would think about or that I would think about would be tax incentives for businesses, especially maybe in the commercial side of things, like trailer building when we had that here and those kind of opportunities. Being in the county, it would be different, but if there was places in the town where there was commercial businesses that moved in, then, you know, some kind of tax breaks. But like I said, without knowing more detail of the inner workings of town, it's hard to say per se.
Thank you.
You mentioned collaboration. How would you deal with a staff member, a town resident, or a member of the board of trustees that doesn't share your perspective?
So, I mean, we're all in here for hopefully the same reason and same goals, and that's to be a representative for the people of Silverton. And that's the reason why we're trustees. We hopefully gain the trust of this community to make decisions as a whole for what's right and what's best for them. So if there is a discrepancy or if you have two opinions, that's the reason for 7 of us to get together and work through that. We all have different thoughts about how to do things. I'm a carpenter, so I may look at maybe building situations that come up in a different way, but you are a money person, you think about money, everybody has their role. And so to disagree to the point of being an issue, I think is missing the mark of what our job is. And that's to take everybody's strength in this room and spend the time to pull it together and have a unified decision at the end. And if that takes time and we have to table it for a moment to try to get more information on the situation, then, you know, I feel like that's a thing to do, you know, and then that way, it's kind of like when I have a job, I'll keep it short. When I have a job that's just, I can't get, for some reason, it's just not clicking. I can just leave and go to lunch and come back and then I don't even think about it. It's just like, oh, wow, there it is, you know? So, you know, you gotta take it slow and know that everybody's opinion matters, no matter if you agree or disagree.
Thanks.
Actually, a similar kind of question around, like, a lot of times in here, we don't sometimes know the answer, especially these complex issues. And so when you genuinely don't know the right answer, how do you approach solving that problem?
If I don't know the answer, if it's something maybe I'm not familiar with or whatever.
Yeah, like what's your problem solving process?
Good question. Research it, you know, talk to some, if Zarkus comes in and he has a situation or something he wants to offer and I don't understand what he's talking about, then the best thing to do would be to ask him to give more information. If it's with the transfer station and there's a situation or just someone's offering something and I don't understand, then I would I would ask to go to the transfer station, you know? If I don't know, I'm not gonna vote. That's one thing. So if I don't fully understand the situation and what I'm being asked to vote on, then I would not be voting at that moment. I would have to do my research to make sure that we're all in full understanding of that situation. Is that answer?
Yeah.
Sir, anything?
Yeah, I'll come up with one. Each town board seems to have their own agenda. Previous board was interested in Kindle. This board seems to be affordable housing. We've set 10 houses, or in the process of setting 10 houses for sale. So far, we've sold one. If in fact the other houses or some of the homes do not sell by next year, we are burdened with a payment of $6,000 a month. My question to you is, how would you propose, or how would you consider that we find funds to pay for this with?
I don't feel like, I can properly answer that because I don't know the money side of town as of right now. I don't feel like I could properly answer that. I think that if this does not move, I think the board, we would really have to think about that very question, as a board. I would love to be more, one reason I would love to be a board trustee is for these questions and to be able to offer some answers. They're still fairly new. We hope and pray every day that we can get these sold. And I would work closely with everyone here, and here's one thing I promise. I promise to be dedicated to this. Probably more so than it would ever pay me back, except for the fact that I can't see anything else that I could do that would bring better and greater responsibility to me than helping and protecting the town with a group of people that are like-minded.
Thank you.
There's no wrong answers. The best part of this.
Yeah.
I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
And it might be the last one for you. Unless anyone else has any
got
other
plenty.
questions.
Well, I think one of my other questions, so I thought of a few ahead of time. Often we're called to like make decisions that can be unpopular, either with one group or another, but often in the town's best interest. So can you kind of give me an example from a time in your life where you've had to make an unpopular decision and sit with it, and how you've moved through those conversations?
Well, I'm a father, so
There you go.
2 30-year-olds, so I have had to do that several times, but no, as far as how do I get through it? Is that what you asked?
Yeah, just how do you process unpopular decisions that we've had to make in here that can be potentially tough on relationships in town?
Personally, I've always said that if the situation was that bad that you don't think you can be my friend, then maybe you weren't quite the friend I thought you were. Because with the type of person that I am is, well, first off, I love everyone. But I don't always agree with everybody, and everybody definitely doesn't always agree with me, but I take that with a grain of salt, and knowing that each person has their opinion, and if I do have to sit in here and I'm sitting in one of those seats and I have to make a decision with the board as a group that I know is going to go against something that someone that I'm close to, or even acquaintance, and they're gonna be like, I thought you had my back or something like that. I just have to be like, I do everything for the interest of town in a whole. Can't just be for one individual. You have to, every time we make a decision here, it has to be for town as a whole and how it's gonna benefit everyone, not just one individual. I don't know if that answers your question quite, but
no wrong answer. So,
You have more.
go ahead, Jim.
I just have one that I'll be asking both candidates. Knowing where we are in the community at this time, June 2026, as a trustee board member, what would be your top priorities with regards to the Compass Master Plan?
Top priorities on the master plan. You know, I think my top priority would be to see it moving. There's a lot of cogs in that machine, and I think it would just be good to see more process happening in a whole, as far as starting from square one. I mean, as we have already started square one, of course, and we've gone a long ways. But I'd like to see that momentum not slow down. Like I said, there's a lot to that question. There's a lot in that book. So I think just keeping it as a topic of discussion amongst all of us. And also constantly, as a builder, of course, this is something we talk about a lot, and it's constantly getting input from the town on how they feel the development of the master plan is going. So I'm for progress. And I think that says it.
Anybody else?
Ask one more question.
Absolutely.
This is who I am as a person. You're up here, you get to know this. I think I want to ask the both of just, we just had an opportunity to have an election. So why now?
Oh, it's not a why now. I've thought about this for a long time. I don't, unlike some, I don't try to just jump to the top and become a mayor. So, and short of the long here. I didn't feel like it was the proper moment for me to step into this potential role. I'll just be blunt. I look at this table of people, some of you I've known for a long time. Some of you I'm just getting to know, known for a while, I don't know at all, but can't wait. And I feel this is the right time. I would have waited longer if that's what I would have had to have done, but I would still be applying for this position right now. Even if it was, I had to wait until it came up for a vote. But I love where this is going. The meetings that I've been to as of late are inspiring, and I am not one to just kind of sit back and watch it all happen. I want to be like in there, So there you go.
Can I ask one more just to back it up? It was very, very brief.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is for Holly. And it'll follow up to that. If it doesn't work out now, do you think you'll run?
Dang straight.
Years?
Yep. Yeah, if this doesn't happen at this moment right now, which would make me super sad because I feel like so much is being developed right now. With Public Works and with the transfer station, with these grants, things that for a lot of us, we've dreamed about for 10 years. The 10 years that I've been here, some people have been thinking about it for a lot longer than that. But to have to wait for the vote to come out would be sad for me because I want to be involved with what the progress that's happening right now. I'm excited about it. And it's for a lot of us or some of us, it's been a long time waiting to be excited about what the board has a chance to do for this town and for the people here. So will I run? Yes, I will.
Perfect. Great. Anybody else?
Promising.
All right. Sir, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you. And just a reminder that after our second candidate is complete with the Q&A, there will be time for public comment if you wish. So I'd like to ask Ms. Holly to approach the podium. Ma'am.
Hello, everybody. I'm Holly Hubner. I have been in town now for 6 years. Yeah, I bought the Coffee Bear in 2020 after working there for one winter. And I gotta say, it was one of the best decisions that I have ever made. During that time, first moving to town, I sat on the Compass Project board, which, you know, back in 2021, things were kind of, there's like a lot of motion in the ocean here. Things were not super settled. And that was, you know, that was my introduction to being involved in Silverton, on a little bit deeper level than just as a business owner. And with that, I sat on the economic board, and really was able to help develop kind of these goals that we put into place for where we want to go from that economic standpoint, which was cool to be a part of then. And it's cool to see how we've been following that, you know, over the last 5 years. I think that, you know, my decision in putting in a letter of interest for this position really was just to give back to this town. This town has given me so much, more than I would ever be able to put into words. But, you know, this doesn't really feel like an obligation to me. It really, you know, it just kind of feels like, you know, this, where it's a symbiotic relationship, like the town gives to me and I give back. Yeah. Some of my other qualifications, I have been on the Chamber of Commerce board for, I was just trying to think today for how long. Since 2021, where I sat for the first year as the vice president, and I'm in my third year now as the president of the chamber board. And in the last year, I've also joined the creative district board. I just love boards. They're super important. And that's really what I've learned from sitting on both of those boards, is that it's important to listen to the community and what they have to say, and kind of be that voice when you're put in that position. And I think that that's just what I would like to continue to do if I am elected as trustee, is to just continue to give voice to the people and also look out for Silverton and its future, because I plan on being here for a long, long time. You want me to, do I need to keep talking?
And you can end it right there if you like. All right. Time for questions and answers. Would anyone like to open with the first question?
I mean, I like to ask the same questions. 'Cause
Go for it.
I've interviewed a lot of people. So I think similar question around when you don't know the right answer to a complex issue, what's your process in finding the right answer and decision?
Yeah. I think it's really important to pause. I've learned this in my short 31 years of life, that it's okay to take a break. And then, you know, if I don't know all of the information, doing the research, I'm a big fan of crowdsourcing. I like really, not from a place of trying to necessarily, you know, imitate or copy someone else, but really just to be able to form my own opinion and what people have to say is a really great way to form an opinion.
I'll ask the same question about just more of a personal opinion, not like how to, but in terms of balancing, what I feel is a sort of not really controversial, but definitely a topic that takes a lot of thought and discussion. The utilization of land, whether it's right in town or working in the county out and around to help, long-term business, commercial success. And also to help retain or recruit, long-term population here.
Yeah. I think that an important start to that would be, which I know that the board is currently focusing on this, but focusing on the infrastructure of our town. I know back when they did that Kellogg survey to talk about, the right amount of people to live here. We still are a few steps back from getting there, I feel, in terms of, our water and our poo-poo plant. And then, everything down to like the town roads and even the buildings. Like, how do we preserve and maintain what we have currently, while also paving the way for these newcomers to be able to come in and create a life here? Yeah.
Okay, so open-minded county working together, and if some rules needed to be adjusted, would that be, do you feel everything as it is today will be the same 5 years down the road in terms of any restrictions on things?
Based on the last, 6 years that I've been here, I don't think that things will be the same 5 years from now. But I don't know what that looks like exactly. But
I don't think anybody does.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, that's the natural progression, right? Is that we grow, we change. So hopefully it doesn't look the same, maybe some parts.
Ron?
I'm going to ask you the same question I asked JP. You'd like me to repeat it for you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Each town board has their own agenda. The previous board was involved with Kendall Mountain. This board is more involved with affordable housing. We just have we're in the process of setting 10 homes. We've sold 1. Sales seem to be a little slow right now. If we don't sell these next year, the town will be forced to do a $6,000 a month payment. How do you propose we find those funds to make those payments?
Without knowing too much about the guidelines around that housing project, I would offer, different explorations of routes. I don't know if we can rent them, or do like a rent to own type situation, but kind of relieving the financial burden from the town, while also not having them just sit empty. Could be a cool way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Holly, you're a busy person, 2 businesses, a lot of other commitments. If you became a trustee, how would you balance it all?
Yeah. This has been on my mind a lot. And I guess my response to that is I just feel right now that I have all of this energy and this passion for this place and what I'm doing. And so I feel that I should just continue to roll with that. I also tend to do better when I stay busy. And so I think, I'm here already with my businesses and my home and my partner and all my dogs. And so, adding on this trustee position, kind of just seemed like it fit a little bit seamlessly into my lifestyle here and also my schedule. I'm at a coffee shop, so I'm up early. Unless we're having meetings at, 6 a.m. I'm good.
Thanks.
I mean, the other question I want to ask is sort of similar because, I think when you're a business owner, it's a little different. You know, we make unpopular decisions in this room, unfortunately, and it's often the town's best interest. So how do you, and you know, the example could also, what's an example from a time in your life when you've had to sort of make an unpopular decision that might affect you or your personal relationships and or your business?
Yeah, I do not tend to make decisions lightly. It's a blessing and a curse that I tend to really think about things. And, you know, I think I make decisions all the time at my business. Is just a really easy example that not everybody agrees with. But it's something, or if it's something that I feel that I can stand behind, then, you know, that's good enough for me. I feel okay being able to back that, and vouch for that. Yeah.
Anybody else?
I was gonna ask what, did you have one? Sorry.
I have my one question.
I had that one as well. I wanted to throw.
I keep hogging.
Oh, just the same question. It didn't work out this period. Would you be super hyped to still do it in 2 years from now?
Yeah. I would be excited to run again. Yeah. Yes is my answer.
Yeah, it was the same question of like, why now?
Yeah. Not to put it all on my partner, Michael, but I will say that, this has come up, now a few times for me. And I've gone to Michael and been, you know, express interest and totally valid. He had some concerns and I just really didn't feel comfortable moving forward without having the full support of my partner. And when this seat opened and I went to him for probably the third time, was like, hey, this is open. He was like, you should go for it. And I sat down and I sent in my letter like that day. I was like, okay. So yeah, I mean, that's the biggest reason. And similar to what JP said, I also just feel, you know, now is the right time for me. There's no way that I would have been able to juggle all of this in the first few years of owning a business. And I feel really fortunate now to have really awesome staff that backs me and is super supportive. Yeah, which makes me just feel empowered to be able to do this now.
Wonderful. Anybody? All right. Can I ask my one question? If selected as a town trustee board member, knowing where we are within the Compass Master Plan, what would be your top priorities?
I mean, I still feel really drawn towards a year-round sustainable economy for Silverton, for not just business owners, but also, you know, for the people that live here that are trying to make a living. And I think that a huge part of that is diversifying our economy. You know, not putting all of our eggs in the tourism basket and maybe being able to open up for some different outlets for revenue. I will also say that through sitting on the chamber board, we've been talking a lot about how the trends, not just here, but all across the state of Colorado, are starting to go back towards what they were before COVID. And so, you know, right now, what we had maybe gotten used to the last few years, I think is starting to shift, and that might cause a jolt for, you know, us as a town. And so I think, you know, now more than ever, between, you know, the climate and those trends, I just think that, dialing in our economy to be really supportive for the people that live here, while also providing a great experience for anyone that would like to come visit. But, you know, us first.
Anybody else? All right, thank you so much. Before we continue to public comment, I just want to take a quick moment to thank our candidates. Mr. JP Stanley, throwing their hats in the ring and doing something that's difficult, which is stepping up in front of your peers, in front of your friends and neighbors, and climbing into the arena, so to speak. You guys should be commended regardless. Being a trustee is absolutely, it's no walk in the park. It will challenge you to your core, both of you. I can't see over the podium. But I will say it is one of the most rewarding jobs, at least for me, I've ever had. There's no greater feeling than giving back to the community that gives so much to you and each and every one of us. Having that been said, we will open up for public comment. So if there's anyone in the audience, anyone online that would like to get up and say something, anything, speak now. You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and address.
Oh.
Your birth? Been here for about 5 years now, coming up on 5 years in Silverton, and I just wanted to thank both of these two for putting their hats in the ring. As a partner, someone who is a trustee, I understand just what they're getting into, and I appreciate you being willing to do this for town. I do want to throw my hat in support for Holly. I've known Holly for a little longer than 5 years now, but she was one of the main reasons to Silverton. She was one of the first members of the community who kind of like helped take me under her wing and just kind of showed me what Silverton could be. I've watched her grow as a business owner. I've watched her grow as a person. And I just think that she would make a fine trustee during these times that are going to prove to be probably pretty challenging over the next few years. And yeah, so that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thanks.
Hey there.
You.
My name is Mike Crockett. I'm Holly's domestic partner. I've lived in town for about 4.5 years. My relationship with this place extends a little bit longer back than that. I would like to express my support for Holly. I know her to be immensely creative, very forward-thinking, and quite adept at problem solving. She obviously has her pulse on the town happenings. She loves a challenge, and she definitely excels at executing a vision. One of her stated purposes to me, not only in the Coffee Bear, but also her other community ventures, is to bring people together for the betterment of Silverton as we all continue to grow here. I think that all of those traits are extremely valuable to a growing and developing community like Silverton. Obviously, we're like in this state of flux. And I think what she can bring to the table is very valuable. That's all that I have. Is it all right if I read an email from Sophie Fearon?
That would be a separate, would that be the same public comment? Separate?
Is that the same public comment that you received? Yes, it is.
I think that you got this email, but she asked if I would read it aloud, if that's all right. Okay. Says Sophie, Town of Silverton trustees, I am writing this letter in support of Holly Hubner as a candidate for your board. As many of you know, I was Holly's business partner from 2020 to 2025, and I would like to share my experience working with her as evidence for why she would be a great fit for this board. We took over the Coffee Bear with little experience and a lot to learn. Holly is someone who is not afraid of a challenge. She is not someone who can fear of failure stand in her way. She is willing to put herself out there, learn quickly from her mistakes, and persevere until the job is done. Holly does what she says she will do. She doesn't make excuses. You can trust that if she says she will do something, it will get done. Holly and I worked hard hours and faced challenges we had no experience with, and I could not have been more grateful that it was her by my side when things got tough. When you consider who you want by your side on this board, I promise you it is Holly. Accompanying her noteworthy work ethic is her attitude. When things get tough, she is not one to sulk or complain, but instead she often had the ability to crack jokes and keep things lighthearted while never letting the goal out of sight. Holly is a straight shooter. She is one of the most open people I've ever met. We had a very successful working relationship with open dialogue and clear communication. Even when she had an established opinion, she always took pause to hear what I thought and considered it with an open mind. Holly is a bright light, a motivated hard worker with the best intentions for this town. Besides being business partners, we are good friends. On long walks in the mountains together and sunny afternoons sitting on the roof, I have heard her gush about the love she has for the heart and soul of this town. As a resident, I would like to see Holly earn this seat. I trust that she will listen to residents, work hard on tough problems, and contribute her contagious energy to making positive change for the town of Silverton. Thank you all for serving on this board, Sophie Fearon.
Thank you. Any additional public comment? See smiles, I see movement. Folks want to get up or not. All right, seeing no one, I will close public comment. I don't see any raised hands online. We will close public comment. Thank you so much. Now, this is me going rogue, as I tend to do every once in a while. Is there any closing comments that anyone up here on the board would like to make?
I want to make one comment, and I'll probably say this on the 8th as well. I've actually been the only other person on this board who is on the other side of applying for a seat. If you all remember that, I applied in 2023 and didn't get selected. Ferguson is hard, but I still came back and ran again. And so I would, as we make a decision that's probably pretty tough to I know what it feels like to have to process something really disappointing and still come back again and keep working for the betterment of the community. So I'll probably repeat myself one more time next week, but I think I know what it feels like and you can do it.
Beautiful, and you're right. Carl, anything?
I basically have the same thing to say. We're just really lucky as a community, and it's going to be a tough decision for the board. And that's something that just really speaks very highly to both of you. So thank you for stepping up.
Thank you. Doc?
Okay.
Ron?
Two very qualified candidates. Thank both of you for applying for the position, and it's going to be a tough one.
I agree. I would also like to remind everybody that you can submit comments online straight to Elizabeth. Get ready, buckle up. Between tonight and Monday's meeting, June 8th, which will be a standard meeting.
Regular meeting.
June 8th, Monday at 5:30 p.m., where we will finalize and determine through this selection process. Without anything else.
We'll put it at the last thing on the agenda.
We'll put it, yeah, we'll make sure everyone has to stay. Without any further comments, I want to thank everyone again for coming out tonight, showing your support for those two candidates. You guys, thank you. Your community thanks you. And with that, I will adjourn this meeting. It is 6:19 p.m.